Everyone, welcome to another video of reproductive system. So today we are going to discuss about female reproductive system. So as we know that female reproductive system is basically complex than male reproductive system, because not only in the female reproductive system only gametes are produced, but it gives the development to the embryo for the 9 months too, right? So here in the female reproductive system, it's contain basically gonads, which are pair of ovaries. Okay, pair of ovaries, one oviduct, uterus, and vagina. Okay, so these are basically the, we can say, parts of female reproductive system. Now, first of all, from these parts, which is the primary sex organ? So here you can see we're gonna mark the ovary. Ovaries are the female, sorry, primary sex organ. Primary sex organs are what? Primary sex organs are, we can say, ovaries. Now, ovaries are basically female gonads which produce ovum and release hormones. These ovaries produce the ovum and release some hormones for the proper growth and development. We can say a pair of ovaries is present on the side of the uterus. Each ovary is held in the place of the peritoneal cavities. Okay. Now here you can see we know that egg, or you can say ovum, is basically the egg, and egg here is motile. Sorry, egg is non-motile. Egg is non-motile, but जो हमारे पास follicle tubes है ना, those are lined with columnar ciliated cells which help the cilia eggs to come into ampulla. देखो जहाँ पे egg produce होता है and हमारे पास जो ये sperm आता है, right, this sperm, यहाँ क्या होता है हमारे पास, यहाँ बेसिकली जहाँ एग प्रोड्यूस होता है वो एग भी आता है एक जगह पर फेलोपियन ट्यूब के अंदर. दिस एग इज प्रोड्यूस इन ओवरीज. ठीक है, ये एग भी आता है हमारे पास फेलोपियन ट्यूब के अंदर और स्पर्म ट्यूब के अंदर आता है. तो हमें पता है एग तो नॉन मोटाइल है, तो एग कैसे आता होगा? स्पर्म तो हमें पता है मोटाइल है, तो स्पर्म तो इजीली हमारे पास आ सकता है फेलोपियन ट्यूब के अंदर. बट हाउ अबाउट एग? एग तो हमारे पास मोटाइल नहीं है. तो in the egg some cells are present which are known as columnar ciliated cells which help the cilia egg come into the, जो कि help करते हैं by the help of cilia की मदद से the, we can say, egg come into the fallopian tube. This is how they look like. Right, these are columnar epithelial cells. So in the fallopian part, again we can say one part. The fallopian part has three parts, but the most wider part is known as ampulla. And here, specifically, if the question is asked which part of ampulla, the female, we can say the zygote will, we can say the egg and sperm is fertilized, so that is ampulla, right? After that, we do have what, we can say, yes, as we know about the ovaries, these are on the both side, and in the mid we do have uterus. Now, what about uterus? Uterus has three lined. If I can mention the names here, So first lining is outer lining, which is known as perimetrium, which is the outer lining of uterus. Second is middle, which is known as myometrium. Third is known as endometrium, which is inside. Okay. अब यहाँ पे क्या होता है हमारे पास from these three, the myometrium is basically the smooth muscle and this is the involuntary muscle. Smooth and involuntary muscle is known as myometrium. After that, this endometrium. Endometrium play the main function. They supply rich in the blood vessels. This endometrium is rich in blood vessels. Fine. Now this uterus is basically one type of muscular organ. This uterus is basically the muscular organ. And sometimes this question can be asked, the shape of the uterus looks like inverted pear form. Inverted pear form. ठीक है, inverted pear form, and this uterus inverted pear form lie between bladder and rectum. So this uterus lie between bladder and rectum. This is the muscular inverted pear shaped organ. What about vagina now? So vagina. Now this vagina basically is we can say vagina, and plus if we're gonna add the cervical canal, then that have to the birth canal. This question can be asked, vagina plus cervical canal is known as birth canal. Okay. Now some of the accessory ducts are present which help in the transportation of gametes. Those are basically fallopian tubes, uterus and vagina. We know that we can say ovaries lies in the last part of abdominal cavity known as pelvic cavity. Ovaries का ये पूरा system, female reproductive system is present in the pelvic region. ठीक है. Each ovary, हर एक ovary जो होती है हमारे पास टोटल कितनी है? 2 ovaries are there. So each ovary will contain basically 200,000 follicles. इसके अंदर क्या होते हैं? इसके अंदर follicles होते हैं like this. These can be 200,000 follicles, right? These follicles help which nourish and protect the developing egg cells. ये follicles क्या करते हैं? Nourishment provide करते हैं. Egg cell. Okay. After that the cells of follicle produce the female sex organ too. हमारे पास जो follicles जो हैं इनके अंदर भी जो cells होते हैं. For example, this is the ovary. Yes. For example, this is the ovary. Inside ovary, this is the one follicle. Inside this follicle, just some cells are present The cells of the follicle produce one hormone, you can say, which is known as estrogen. ठीक है, female sex hormone which is known as estrogen, right? After that, we know female duct system begins with oviduct. फीमेल का जो डक्ट सिस्टम होता है वो स्टार्ट होता है ओविडक्ट, और वी कैन से फेलोपियन ट्यूब. ओविडक्ट इज नोन एज फेलोपियन ट्यूब बेसिकली. तो क्योंकि यहाँ पर एग और स्पर्म वी कैन से एग एंड स्पर्म फर्टिलाइज होते हैं, तो यहाँ से हमारे पास फीमेल डक्ट सिस्टम स्टार्ट होता है. नाउ दिस फेलोपियन ट्यूब और ओविडक्ट का, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया था, यहाँ पे 3 पार्ट्स होते हैं. फर्स्ट पार्ट इज नोन एज वी कैन से isthmus. Second is ampulla. No, second is infundibulum. But third is ampulla. So the fertilization take place in this third part of oviduct, which is known as ampulla. Right? Now, a main point here is that fallopian tube जो हमारे पास है oviduct. So fallopian tube, oviduct, or we can say uterine tube are basically 10 to 12 centimeter long. ये कितने होते हैं? ये 10 to 12 centimeter long होते हैं only. Remember, these are all the MCQ space we can say lectures. So must learn these. Uterus has major 3 regions. यूट्रस के पास भी हमारे पास मेजर वो तो लाइनिंग हमने पढ़ी थी. अब 3 regions are there. First region is known as fundus, second is body, and third is cervix. These 3 are the basically we can say major regions present in the uterus. After this, we can say these 3 major regions. We do have fallopian tube, which is fallopian tube. Basically, it is the location of fertilization. And uterus is for what? Uterus is a house of developing embryo and fetus. House of developing embryo and fetus. यूट्रस हमारे पास हाउस होता है एम्ब्रियो और फीटस की डेवलपमेंट के लिए. फेलोपियन ट्यूब हमारे पास क्या होती हैं? लोकेशन होती हैं फॉर फर्टिलाइजेशन. And what about vagina? And we can say vagina is basically this vagina receive is बर्थ कैनाल. ये बर्थ कैनाल के तौर पे काम करती है. रिसीव करती है स्पर्म को. सर्व एज बर्थ कैनाल. ओके. आफ्टर दैट उसके बाद हमारे पास क्या होता है? उसके बाद हमारे पास हर जो हमारे पास एक एग होता है, ईच एग इज रिलीज फ्रॉम वन ओवरी. 2 ओवरीज हमारे पास होते हैं. एक एग इस ओवरी से रिलीज होता है. ठीक है. ईच एग इज रिलीज फ्रॉम वन ओवरी, one about every 20 days. हर 28 डेज के अंदर एक एग रिलीज होता है. ठीक है. हर 28 डेज के अंदर एक एग रिलीज होता है दोनों ओवरी से एंड वी कैन से दिस इज ऑफन नोन एज ओवेरियन साइकिल. 28 डेज को हम क्या कहते हैं? ओवेरियन साइकिल. सो दिस कैन बी आस्क्ड के ओवेरियन साइकिल कब होती है? तो 28 डेज के अंदर. Now only 2 things are remaining to be noticed down. One is Graafian follicle. Now what is Graafian follicle? So Graafian is basically when this undergo transformation. जब Graafian के अंदर transformations होती हैं, this basically develop into glandular tissues. So this is known as corpus luteum. And this corpus luteum is basically what? This is the yellowish color which help to release the progesterone. This question can be asked: progesterone is released by your answer should be corpus luteum, right? So these were some of the basics of female reproductive system. In the next lecture, we're gonna discuss about oogenesis, the formation of egg. Bye bye.